5 to 6 minutes read aloud. If you had the chance to be born in any era of human history, which would you choose? The Renaissance? The Space Age? Maybe the modern day with all its comforts? But what if you weren't given a choice? What if you were born in the worst time imaginable? A moment in history so brutal, so cursed, that simply surviving was a miracle. Today, we explore the worst time to be born in human history. Setting the stage, what makes a time the worst? To decide the worst time to be born, we're not just talking about inconvenience, we mean a moment when the very act of living was a torment. Here's what we're looking for: mass death, widespread suffering, economic collapse, social breakdown, zero hope for improvement in a lifetime. And history has some bleak candidates. The Black Death, 1347 to 1351. The Mongol invasions. World War I and the Spanish flu. But one time period stands above all others. Welcome to 536 AD, the true Dark Age. 536 AD. A year so catastrophic that historians call it the beginning of the worst decade to be alive. Across the world, something terrifying was happening. The skies darkened. For 18 months, the sun barely shone. According to Byzantine historian Procopius, the sun gave forth its light without brightness, like the moon, during the whole year. Crops failed. Famine gripped continents. People starved in their thousands. But what caused this apocalyptic gloom? A mystery in the sky. Scientists now believe the culprit was a massive volcanic eruption, possibly in Iceland, that blasted ash into the stratosphere. This ash blanket blocked sunlight, disrupting global climate. Temperatures dropped. It snowed in China, in summer. Ireland's chronicles record failure of bread from the years 536 to 539. But that wasn't the end. Just a few years later, in 541 AD, came something even worse. The Plague of Justinian. As if famine and freezing weren't enough, a ship arrived in Egypt, carrying death. The Plague of Justinian, the first recorded bubonic plague pandemic, exploded across the Byzantine Empire. Some cities lost up to half their population. In Constantinople, the death toll was 5,000 per day. All told, it may have killed 50 million people, nearly half the world's population at the time. Think about that. You're born into darkness, famine, and now a disease so vicious it wipes out your entire village. There's no escape, no cure, and no hope. A lost generation. An entire generation was born into silence. No birdsong. No harvest. Just endless grey skies and the screams of the dying. If you were born in 536, you likely didn't live long. And if you did, you spent your life in survival mode. No childhood. No old age. Just cold, hunger, and fear. Historians believe it took nearly a century for the world to recover. So next time you complain about slow Wi-Fi or long lines, remember the children of 536. Born into darkness. Raised by famine. And buried by plague. This was the worst time to be born in human history. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more stories from the hidden corners of history.